Hello children, welcome in online class. Today we'll start chapter number 12, Reproduction in Plants. So, first of all we'll discuss about what is reproduction. You can see in the picture, each of these baby animal looks similar to their parent. An elephant would look like an elephant. A dog would look like a dog. Each of these organisms produce new organism and all these new organisms are similar to them. So children, the production of new individual from their parent is known as reproduction. In fact, reproduction is one of the most important characteristics of living organism. Let us discuss about the type of reproduction in plants. The first type is sexual reproduction. The production of new plants from the existing parent by the fusion of their gamete is called sexual reproduction. Children, let us discuss that what is gamete. Plants cannot reproduce like human being, but they still produce two separate reproductive cells. These are called gamete. Pollen grain is male gamete and ovule is female gamete in plant. Here you can see in picture the male reproductive part, that is stamen, and the female reproductive part, that is pistil. Pollen grains are present inside the anther and the ovules are present inside the ovary. So in this cycle a complete process of sexual reproduction is shown. We will discuss about it in detail in our next video. Let us discuss about asexual reproduction. The production of new plants from a single parent without the involvement of gamete is called asexual reproduction. Children, in asexual reproduction, we can see that seeds are not produced. New plants are grown from the existing part of plants. Like plants can produce root from cutting that are placed in water. New potato plant grow from stem. So in this way we can say that the new plants are grown from the existing part of the plant. In sexual reproduction, new plants are obtained from existing plant through seeds. Most of the flowering plant reproduce sexually. In asexual reproduction, new plants are obtained from a single parent without the formation of seeds. The plants produced through asexual reproduction are exactly identical to the parent plant. The mode of reproduction. Asexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, new plant arises from vegetative parts. No seed formation take place. Vegetative parts are leaf, stem and root. Sexual reproduction, new plant arises through reproductive part. Fruits and seeds are formed. Flower is a reproductive part. Children, asexual reproduction in plants. The three types are fragmentation, spore formation and vegetative propagation. First of all, we'll discuss about fragmentation. Children, many times we see green patches floating on surface of stagnant water bodies like ponds, ditches and lake. The green patches are due to the growth of green algae called Spirogara. When Spirogara mature, it breaks up into two fragments. Each fragment then grows and form new Spirogara. This process of reproduction is called fragmentation. The breaking up of the body of a plant into two or more fragments where each fragment grows and matures to form a new plant is called fragmentation. Now let us discuss about spore formation. Spore formation in fungus. Before that, children, let us discuss about some new terms like sporangium, hyphae and spores. Sporangium is actually a knob-like structure. hyphae. These are the thread-like projection. Spores. Each sporangium contains hundreds of minute spores enclosed in it. So children, here in the picture we can see the bread mold has thread-like projection called hyphae, knob-like structure called sporangium, and many hundred minute spores. When spores are released, they keep floating in the air. As they are very light, they can cover long distance. Spores are asexual reproductive bodies. Plants such as moss and ferns also reproduce by means of spore. In fern, these spores are in the cluster of sporangium called sori on the underside of their leaves. Here you can see in the picture, on the underside of the leaf, the very minute black color patches are there. These are actually sori. Now, let us discuss about reproduction in yeast by budding. Yeast reproduces asexually through budding. In yeast, a bud is formed on the side of his body. The bud gradually grows. Sometimes these buds get detached from the parent body and form a new yeast cell. Sometimes another bud arises from the bud, forming a chain of buds. So this is the reproduction in yeast by the process called budding. Now, let us discuss about vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation is a type of asexual reproduction in which new plants are produced from vegetative part of the plant like root, stem and leaf. Children, here in the picture you can see that the lower branches of the plant is bent and a small portion of it is covered with moist soil. After a few days, root develop in the buried portion of the branches and a new plant arises. Different methods of vegetative propagation are by stem, by root, by leaves. Potato is an example of vegetative propagation by stem, sweet potato by root and bryophyllum by leaves. Now, let us discuss about them one by one in detail. So, first of all, let us discuss about vegetative propagation by stem. Children, the underground stem of potato is called stem tuber. A tuber is the swollen underground stem of a plant which has stored food. It has buds called eyes. If a potato is cut into pieces and planted in the soil, the cut parts with eye grow into a new potato. Rhizome of ginger. Underground stem of ginger are called rhizome. They have buds on their body. The new plants grow from these buds just like potato. Vegetative propagation by roots. In plants like sweet potato, a root cutting with a bud can form a new plant when put into the moist soil. Vegetative propagation by leaves. The leaves of plants like bryophyllum produce buds on the notches in their margin. When these leaves get detached from the plant and touch moist soil, the bud grows into new plant. So children, I hope you all understood today's topic. Your homework is to read the topic in detail from textbook.